And when I was 26, I met a guy that got me on this book, and he started to give me some effective education. And my whole life changed. My income went from $4,000 a year to $175,000 a year in a year.
I'm curious, if you could sum up the law of attraction in one phrase, what is that idea of the law of attraction for people if they're still not sure on it?
Well, oddly enough, the secret, I think, led some people down the wrong path with the law of attraction, in that we didn't take the time or never got into it in depth. The law of attraction is a secondary law, and most people talk about it as the law of attraction. It's a law. Well, it is, but it's a secondary law. And a lot of people are left with the idea, you just think about it, you'll attract it. Well, that is a bunch of nonsense. That's not true at all. You do attract what you think about, but your thought patterns control the vibration you're in. Vibration is a basic law of the universe. The law of vibration decrees everything moves, nothing rests. The walls around you are moving. If you go and look at them through a microscope, you'll see them moving. The body in a coffin is moving. It's if it wasn't moving, how would it ever change to dust? The law of vibration decrees that everything moves. We literally live in an ocean of motion. Well, your mind and body is in a vibration, and that's controlled by your thoughts. You activate cells in your brain. Your mind activates cells. That sets up a vibration in the mind and body. And the vibration you set up is going to dictate what you attract. If you're troubled and you're in a bad mood, you're going to attract bad stuff to you. You're on a negative frequency. So as long as you stay in that bad vibration, you're going to attract some more bad stuff. It's just going to keep coming. And you see it happening all the time to people. It's in the Bible.
It's probably like when you're not feeling good and you just want more ice cream or pizza. You want bad things to make you feel good, as opposed to let me have a healthy salad when I'm down. It's not what we're thinking.
Well, you see, the trick is really to keep yourself feeling good. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The vibration is the basic law. And if you stay feeling good in a good vibration, you're going to attract good stuff. You just magnetize yourself to stuff that's good. There's very few people really understand the law of vibration. Everybody is utilizing it every day, all day. You are attracting what you're in harmony with. You always have.
How do we put ourselves?
Pardon?
Yeah, and how do we put ourselves in a state of feeling good when there's nothing to feel good about?
Well, there's always something to feel good about. Listen,
they're stressed about the world, they're stressed about their job, they're stressed about their health, their family, relationship breakups. How do they change the feeling to feel good when they're in an environment of stress?
Listen, there's a law called polarity. The law of polarity decrees everything as an opposite. You couldn't have an up without a down, a hot without a cold. You can't have a bad without a good. If you're looking at bad, that tells you there's got to be good. You cannot have bad without good. And if you want to feel good, start looking for what's good. And if you start looking for what's good, you're going to find it. You're going to find whatever you're looking for. And the idea to say, well, you really can't, there's so much bad going on, that attitude is not going to reward you at all. It's going to give you bad stuff. You've got to know that there's always something good. You've got to find it.
Why is it so hard for people to see the good when there's so much chaos around them?
Because they're so programmed the wrong way. They're really programmed the wrong way. We're programmed for bad news. You don't find a good news station. You don't have good news. People wouldn't advertise. They wouldn't go there. People are attracted to bad news because they're in a bad vibration themselves. And when they start to understand that and then realize they can control it and change it, that's when they'll start winning. See, that's where I was. I was in a bad vibration. Everything was bad. There was nothing good. I mean, I just had one hell of a life up till I was 26. There was nothing good about it at all. And when I was 26, I met a guy that got me on this book, and he started to give me some effective education. And my whole life changed. My income went from $4,000 a year to $175,000 a year in a year. Washing floors. The first thing he wanted to know, he wanted me to write my goal on a card. He said, what do you really want? I said, all I want is some money. I figured if I had some money, all my problems would go away. I owed everybody and his brother money. And they're always phoning me, where's the money, where's the money? And I said, God, if I knew where the money was, you wouldn't have to phone me. And I'd get upset with them for phoning me. And so I said, I want $25,000. If we had taken, Louis, if we had taken all the money in the neighborhood where I lived, you wouldn't have found $25,000. I mean, it was an absurd goal. And what he said, write it on the card and read it often. And what happened, it's only in retrospect that I became aware of what happened. Because I kept reading it, he said to me, your way's not working, try mine. Mine way is working. He was happy, healthy, wealthy, this guy. So I kept reading this, and what happened is it got me thinking of earning money. Now, prior to that, I wasn't. I was thinking of debt. All I was thinking about is debt. I owe this money, I owe that money. They're all phoning me. And since I was thinking about it, I started hearing people talking about it. And I remember this guy saying there's good money cleaning floors. I said, I'm not proud, I'll clean floors. In 5 years, I was cleaning floors in Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Cleveland, London, England. I mean, I was having a hell of a time, you know. Got to change the programming.
Yeah, one of the things that I stopped doing many years ago when I had no money is I got rid of my TV for a few years because I found myself being, caught in just consuming a lot of news or just shows that weren't really supporting me because I was sitting there as opposed to creating in action, doing something to help me earn more, to generate what I was looking for and to work on my health and wellness, my relationships, everything, not just money. And after a few years, I didn't miss the TV and I started making more money than ever. And I was in great shape and all these different things happened. And today I have TV now. I mean, I watch Netflix, I watch sports mostly, but I don't watch the news. It's very rare if I watch the news. And I get criticized for this sometimes from people because they're like, well, you should be aware of what's happening in the world. You should be educated. You should be, mindful, all these things. And I live in a building here in Los Angeles, and they have a big TV in kind of the in a general room where people can walk in. And I went in there the other day, and I sat down and sipped some coffee. And literally in this massive TV screen, they had 4 different news channels up at once, kind of splitting the screen in 4 parts. And for 20 minutes, all they were showing on the news screens, all 4 channels, was just this bombing, and this is happening here in India, and this is happening in the U.S., and the rioting, and all of it just was chaos. And I was just like, man, if I sat here and watched this every single day, my mind would be chaotic because I'm consuming chaos. Yeah. And like you talk about, it's changing the frequency. It's turning the channel off and getting into a different frequency is what we need to do and not consume that. We can still be aware of it. I don't want to live in a world where I don't know what's happening, but I don't need to watch it all day to still be aware of it. Isn't that right?
I think anything that's, I don't know, very important that you'll overhear it in conversation. You don't have to watch the news to get it. You're going to get it. Somebody's going to tell you. So I agree. It's a waste of time sitting there and soaking all that up because it does you no good and it does you a lot of harm.
It does a lot of harm.
When I was saying before, it makes you feel bad. If you feel bad, feeling is a word we invented to describe our conscious awareness of the vibration we're in. When you are feeling bad, you're in a negative vibration. When you're feeling good, you're in a positive vibration. That's just a basic thing that we could go by. So how do you feel good? Well, there's all kinds of ways to feel good. Think of something really pleasant. You'll start feeling good. Do something kind for somebody you'll start to feel better. Help somebody out somewhere, you'll start to feel good. Share a good idea, you'll start to feel good. When you're feeling good, you're in a good vibration, you're going to attract good stuff to you. Most people don't understand that feeling is conscious awareness of vibration, and the vibration you're in is dictating what you're going to attract.
Ooh.
It's a basic thing.
True.
It's so basic, but it's not understood.
It's hard for people to change the way they feel because I feel like they get trapped in it. They're like, no, this is how I'm feeling. It takes them days to get out of it until they go to sleep, wake up, and maybe that resets the programming because they got some sleep. I don't know, but I feel like, and I've been there many times in my past where I would hold on to things for weeks, months, and hold on to the negative feeling. So I get it. I've been there, but it's so much better when you can shift it faster or just be aware of it. And I'm not saying don't feel grief and sadness and anger and frustration. These are all feelings we probably should have a balance of feeling, but don't hold on to them. I feel like that's what hurts us in the long run when we hold it on to those feelings.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you still feel angry and upset and let down and sad at times, right?
You know, I don't get angry.
That's good.
I can't remember the last time I got angry. I may be not very pleased with people sometimes, but I don't get angry. No, I really...
You might be disappointed.
I used to get angry. I used to have a hell of a temper. I had red hair, too. I think red hairs have bad tempers. That's what they say. Well, it was true with me. I can't remember the last time I was angry. I just decided it was a really silly waste of energy, you know.
What do you think shifted for you in deciding that?
Oh, there's no question about what shifted. It's the studying. You know, if you study the right material, you're raising your level of awareness. And people that are angry all the time are on a pretty low vibration. They're not really very with it, you know.
So how long were you angry for in your life? How many years did it take to until you finally said 40, 50, 60? How old were you? I'd probably be 60. 60. And how young are you now, Bob?
I'm 86. Yeah.
You look great, man. I hope I look as healthy and young as you at 86.
Well, I'm still going strong. I have no intentions of slowing down.
That's amazing. So at 60,
when I say I haven't been angry for a long time, probably, it was probably up around 60 when I think I eliminated it, as I was going along. And I realized, I think I got to the point where I realized just how silly it is to get angry. And you start to see other people getting angry. You think, why are you doing that, They feel justified.
Where do you think you'd be if you let go of anger at 40? Where do you think you'd be in your life now?
Further ahead than I am.
Really?
I don't really know where, but oh yes. There's a tremendous amount of energy that's wasted in anger. It's a dumb waste of energy.
Why do you think we get angry?
We don't learn to control
What is in
ourselves.
our mind?
If a person would take, do you have a little book, As a Man Thinketh?
I've had it before, but I think you actually sent me one, but I might have given
I'm going to send you another.
away.
I'm going to send you another.
Yeah, I might have it, but yeah.
Yeah. If you take the last chapter in As a Man Thinketh, it's on serenity. And you start reading that, and you read it every day. If you wrote it out every day, I often have people write it every day for 90 days. It changes your life. It starts off, calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It's the result of long and patient effort in self-control. You see, anger is when we're not in control of ourselves. We're letting something outside take over. You're letting another person or a situation, maybe a flat tire, control your being. The tire's flat, so the tire's flat, so what the hell? Get it fixed, But we let stuff control us. And we've got to stay in control. We can't control what's going on outside, but we can control what's going on inside, you know. And unfortunately, I don't think many of us have been raised to really understand that.
Yeah.
And it's a lack of understanding that's causing all our problems, you know.
But how can you say that to someone who's like, well, I don't feel like I have control on the inside when it seems like everything has power over me? What's something they can start to shift?
You see, the truth is for that person, that would be true, that they're being controlled by outside. We look at it this way. We are the only creature on the planet that's totally disoriented in our environment. All the little squirrels, the birds, all the animals are completely at home in their environment. They blend in. You and I are totally disoriented in our environment. We've been given the mental faculties to create our own environment. However, we go right through school and we've never learned that. We have higher faculties, and the average person has no knowledge of how to operate with them, how to develop them. We have perception, the will, reason, imagination, memory, and intuition. Now, those mental faculties, they're not just words. They're actually mental faculties that we can use to take control over our world and to create the environment that we want. But unfortunately, we grow up, we don't know that. We've been raised to live through by what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, our physical senses. And we've been raised to be controlled by what's going on outside. As little kids, will you listen to what I'm telling you? Will you look at this? You know, and so it's all outside. We get our report card, and that tells us what kind of student we are. But it really tells us where our mind was at for a few minutes 3 weeks ago. Got nothing to do with who we are. So I think we're raised in ignorance, actually. There's a very small percentage of the population that have a reasonably clear understanding of who they are and what they're capable of doing. But the ones that do are in the minority.